Fuck it. Fuck it, Katie. Let's go live late.
Let's do it.
Let me blow my monetization on YouTube within the first second of the show. I've like totally given zero shits about whether or not I'm able to monetize this new YouTube channel. I've just like whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, it's March 20th, 2023, and these are your Fortean files. I feel like I should be like that fucking Muppet bird fucking news guy. Like every time I hear that music, I feel like I should be.
It's very fitting.
All regal. Anywho, evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry we got started a tad late to this evening. Not that we have any fucking live listeners lately, because you fucks can't manage to find the show. I love how we had listeners when we were still on the 40 and Slip channel, and I'm like, all right, everybody, we're going over here. Make sure to come over here. Fucking crickets.
I know. I really thought our few core, small handful that we had might join us.
They don't give us sweet shit. The people are horrible, horrible individuals. That's what I've learned over the course of time, is that people just, they suck. I'd like to say that they don't.
They do suck, but people I follow, I notice when they stop posting, and I like go look for it. Like, oh no, did I like get unsubscribed or something? Like I seek out old people. Like, oh man, I haven't heard from them in a while.
Don't try seeking out the fucking 40 and Slip. I guess it's like a no man's land.
I guess.
Or the fucking 40 and files, for that matter. Like, well, the 40 and Slip Facebook page, just a fucking a fucking black hole. Like I'm waiting to see if after a year, if the ban lets up. Well, it's not really a ban because excuse me, people can still see it. People can still see what I'm posting. They can go to the page and see it, but it's just not getting disseminated to everybody like it was. So
yeah,
it's so weird. It killed the views on the page by an insane amount. I get nothing.
It's really unfortunate because it was really popping for a while there.
It was going nuts.
Yeah.
It's going nuts. I was getting like upwards of over 1,000 likes on posts and shit for a while, and then they just cut the legs out from underneath it because of a fucking post from years ago that it doesn't fucking violate community standards. Like they say it does, but it doesn't. It's horseshit. It's a fucking meme. It's a stupid meme. It's a joke. But I've considered like throwing this show back onto Facebook because just to try to get the viewership up, but it's like I don't want to take the chance.
Right.
I don't want to fucking chance it and wreck the page.
Makes you wonder if the juice is even worth the squeeze anyways.
Right. I don't want to risk the fucking page for another year. Like if I can get it back to have some type of promotional outlet for things, I'd like to have that again, but we'll see. I mean, we're coming up on a year because I keep checking it. I think I've got like 3 months left or 2 months left to go. So we shall see. We shall see. I don't know. Anything new in your neck of the woods there, Katie?
No, just been busy, work and
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I've got as you know, I've got surgery on Friday. That is the quickest damn surgery I think I've ever gotten in my life.
Yeah, I was
I
impressed.
I went in last Friday to have my consult with my surgeon, and we went over everything. And we go out, and he's like, "I got to go get some paperwork for you, go over some stuff with you before you go, and we'll schedule something for you." And we go over to schedule, and the girl looks up at me and she goes, "How does next Friday work for you?" And I'm like, "What?"
That's incredible.
I'm like, "I'll take it." So yeah, this Friday I go onto the knife. Hal 9000 will be doing my fucking uh my surgery. All hail the fucking robot overlords.
What a time we live in.
I will be being operated on by the Da Vinci robot.
Isn't that
I get
wild?
it's still he still runs everything.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
surgeon is still behind all the controls. It's not like the robot's doing anything. Like the
No,
robot facilitates it. It doesn't make any decisions.
it's just robot hands for the doctor.
Right. It's just for more precision.
Yes.
A steadier set of fucking hands, I
It's
guess.
truly incredible, really.
Yeah. So I guess Hal 9000 will make some incisions and go in and fix my fucking hernia. So I look forward to that because it's been a pain in the ass, and ever since he fiddle fucked with it on Friday, it's been hurting me.
Mm.
So because he fucking tried to push it back up in, I'm like, ah,
Oh,
motherfucker.
no, don't do that.
Yeah. So it's been kind of tender and fucking ow down there since. But yeah, so I got that on Friday. I'm hoping I can just do that and go back to work the following week with no issues. 'Cause I know the recovery time on this is pretty fucking quick, and I don't do shit.
Yeah.
Like
Especially with it being a robot surgery. They
right.
really,
The job I do right now, I walk around quite a bit, but I don't have to lift anything. I don't have to carry anything around. I don't do anything as far as physical, shit. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to go right back to work, which will be great. And if not, and if I got to miss a day, so be it. But I'm hoping that I don't have to, that I
yeah.
can just go right back. Because it would be nice to just not have to miss any fucking work and get this done.
Right.
So, and like I said, I do something where I could easily just go right back to work. So we'll see how I'm feeling, how things are going. So I should be able to let you guys know next Monday night. But barring anything bad happening during the surgery, I should be able to let everybody know on Monday.
Yes, I'm sure you'll do great.
Because he does, he going over everything with me. The surgeon, he says to me at one point, of course, there is, the possibility of death. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of get that.
Yeah, they got to say it. They do.
Yeah, so they gotta get it out of the way. But I won't lie, I'm nervous. I don't like going under the knife. I mean, it just not an easy thing to process. I've never had a pleasant expance with it. Never been like
anybody would call it pleasant.
It's not like going on a fucking ride.
No.
And I did talk to him about my my opiate addiction because he was like, he's like, regardless of that, he's like, I am gonna give you, a round of painkillers after the surgery.
Yeah. While you're in the hospital.
No, to go home with.
Oh, okay.
It'd be a very short stint. He told me, I think he said like 15 to 20 pills, maybe less than 50. Maybe it was up to 15. I don't know. I can't remember, but I was like, that's fine. And he's like, if the pain persists, I'm willing to give you a refill. And I'm like, you probably won't hear me call you for a fucking refill.
Right.
Because I will probably just fucking grit my teeth and bear it.
Yeah.
After that, I don't have any issue doing that. So hopefully everything goes off without a hitch. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
I think it'll be fine. I don't think I have anything to worry about with the pain pills or anything like that. So I think everything will be good. But yeah, on my way to fucking no hernia, no lump. I have a fupa, like a half fupa. It's only like on one side, and it sticks out. It makes me look like I got a fat little thing.
Fupa.
A fupa. But it's only a half of one.
Makes me giggle. It makes me giggle no matter what.
Fupa?
Yeah, fupa and booty do. Do you know what a booty do is?
A booty do?
Yeah, when your belly sticks out further than your booty do.
Ah, shit.
Oh, to be young again.
Yes. Wish I was. Don't we all? Don't all the older people as they get older wish they were younger? You heard it while you were growing up, and then you were like, fuck you, and then you get older and you're like, fuck me.
I don't know. I feel pretty settled in the age I'm at now, but
yeah, well,
I know it's coming.
That time, it fucking wears you down, Katie.
It does.
It wears you down.
Oh, I'm worn down, but that's kind of why I'm settled, where I don't want to go back to all that other. No thanks.
All the other
it was fun and wild and free, but at the same time, my life's pretty put together nice now.
Wait, when you were younger?
Yeah, it was rough when I was younger. My life was not very stable, It's that stability now that I appreciate, that I'm in my 30s,
Oh, my fucking young life was completely unstable.
Yeah,
but
I want to go back to that.
That's not what I want to go back for. I want to go back for the lack of physical impairments that age has thrown onto me.
That's true.
or rather to take care of things that before they manifest, or to keep them from getting as bad as they've gotten.
Yes,
that would be the goal.
Physical me when I was
not
younger,
to go back in time and relive my fucking childhood trauma.
Right.
That's not the goal. Yeah, no, I'd like to go back and relive these horrible things that I went through. If I could do
turmoil,
that would be just super great. That would be so relaxing. Oh, good times. Good fucking times. But anyway. I don't know if anything else has been going on this week. I'm trying to think. I told you I went to the fucking RV show, but I already told you that. I didn't tell anybody here that. Yeah. Look at RVs. It's kind of cool.
That's fun.
It's interesting to see like how they try to lay that out in that limited amount of space. Like the different ways that they'll try to lay out, like, here's your bedroom, here's your bathroom. Do you have a shower?
Yeah, they get real creative,
And I'll tell you, the fucking fridges are pretty good now.
Yeah.
The fucking fridges in those fucking things are pretty fucking awesome. You almost always wind up with a pretty cool fridge. It's just whether or not you're going to wind up with a really big one or one of the smaller ones. And the smaller ones aren't even that bad.
Yeah.
but they got the little side-by-side fucking fridge freezer combos, like, that are huge.
Yeah, they're way bigger now than you'd think.
Yeah. And the one that I liked the most, they had a nice open concept one. Like, it was all open. Everything was open. So you had it was kitchen open, you had the seating area still open, went right into the driver's area. And then big open hallway. One side was your bathroom, the other side was your shower, right into the bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, no door, nothing. And I liked that. I liked that setup. It was kind of neat. So, but other than that, I think that's all I did this week. I didn't do much of anything. Fucking work. Goddamn work.
Yep.
And trying to fucking
work.
get my surgery scheduled, and that's all good to go for Friday, I guess. Go fucking get sliced and diced. See what happens.
Robot sliced.
Robot sliceage. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they can fix this fucking problem. Until then, Katie. What do I got for news this week? Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know. We'll go with the one you sent me first, Katie. We'll go with that one. From exemplore.com. That's EXEMPLORE.com. FOIA will request for Bigfoot evidence found during eruption of Mount St. Helen. There's a lot of pages for something that supposedly doesn't exist. The eruption of Mount St. Helens was one of the most catastrophic events in American history. But what was less known until now is that there is potential evidence the eruption also had a profound impact on the Bigfoot population. A Freedom of Information Act request was made to the United States Department of Agriculture for any information on Sasquatch or Bigfoot bodies that were discovered or recovered just after the eruption. Unfortunately, no direct data was located regarding any cryptid species. However, 2 independent sources created by researchers outside the Forest Service did have 50 pages of documents regarding the body disposal methods for animals killed in the eruption, which could contain information pointing to any deceased animals that may have been unidentifiable. Some believe the elusive cryptid has been known by some time, offering proof in a United States Air Force survival map indicating Bigfoot territory, and what to do if encountering one. Should one be so lucky as to meet the elusive cryptid, it is important to capture video or photos of the creature while remaining as still and quiet as possible. Is that how you do it? I thought you did. I thought you did it with a box camera, Katie.
Pro tip.
It is also important to note the location and time of the encounter, as well as any specific details or characteristics of the creature. Physical evidence such as hair samples, footprints, or scat should also be collected if possible. Natural disaster cleanup efforts may offer a unique opportunity to locate specimens of Bigfoot and other cryptids. Disasters such as volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and hurricanes can create unique conditions that make it easier to find remains of rare or elusive species. While the existence of Bigfoot remains unproven, the possibility of finding new evidence through secondary channels such as wildlife recovery may offer a new path for cryptozoologists to hunt for everybody's favorite cryptid. Well, it's a possibility, I suppose.
I thought it was an interesting new angle I've never heard before.
Yeah.
It's a creative option to look at, I guess, compared to all the normal humdrum we see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that anything's going to come of it. And I've
No.
heard tell of shit like this before with the Mount St. Helens eruption. That book I read last year, Devolution, whatever the fuck you want to call it, by Max Brooks, that's basically about that. I think it's about the eruption at Mount St. Helens. It might have been something else, or like a fictional version of that happening later on. and the fucking big feet come down and attack the people.
Huh.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't read the fucking book.
I've honestly never heard that before.
Yeah, there's been this story's run around for a while, this idea of like the Bigfoot getting killed during the eruption, and I've heard this many times before for years. Not necessarily like this idea of them trying to get the Freedom of Information Act thing pushed through, but I've heard about the idea that there were big feet killed when Mount St. Helens erupted. Yeah, it's funny. When I was on my my second honeymoon, Katie. I've had a few. We went out west, and actually went up Mount Rainier. And when we were on the top of Mount Rainier, the guide that was at the top said, "Oh, don't worry about the haze. It's around Mount St. Helens. It's no, it's no big deal. Nothing's going on. Blah 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 blah." Really, like fucking assuring everybody. And the minute we got home from our vacation, the fucking news was that fucking Mount St. Helens was indeed having activity.
Oh my God. That's horrifying.
Yeah. So the whole time they're just like, yeah, there's nothing to worry about. Everything's fucking cool.
That's scary as crap, especially after, that one eruption that happened on that island here somewhat recently, modern times. And there's all that video footage, and several people died, but a bunch of people made it.
Yeah, if you think volcanoes don't erupt and lava doesn't flow, I mean, Jesus Christ, people. Happens.
There's a documentary on it. I think it's on Netflix. I don't know though, but it was really good.
I haven't seen that one. All right, what do we got next, Katie? From foxnews.com. That's where I go to get all my fucking news. And then I balance it out with a little MSNBC. And then I throw it all out the window and go, fuck everybody. Ex-Navy pilot who's seen UFOs in flight calls for investigations of aerial phenomena. We need to be curious. Ryan Graves is a former Navy pilot who has called on Congress to investigate unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UFOs, in the skies above the United States. He spoke out on his first-hand experience with UAPs in an interview with Fox News Digital. Graves spent about 11 years in the Navy flying F-18s, an advanced fighter plane, and was also a flight instructor. However, throughout his career, he has yet to receive a definitive answer on a phenomenon that he and other members of his squadron have dealt with for years. While I was in the Navy, myself and others in my squadron had an experience that continues to this day, and at first was something we didn't have a name for, Graves said. At first, objects showed up as contacts on our radar, contacts on our camera system, until eventually, Graves said, we were seeing these with our eyeballs. 2 aircraft from my squadron were flying side by side, and one of these objects went right between their aircraft, he added. Graves said that his squad member described the object as a dark gray or black cube inside of a clear sphere. Graves called on Americans with preconceived notions about UAPs to come at the issue from a first principles approach. I think they need to separate the idea of something that's unknown from preconceived ideas like UFO or ET hypothesis. We need to be able to agnostically, as a media, accept that there is uncertainty and look at it from a first principles approach. Because if we wrap it into all the context about little green men, we're going to be barking up the wrong tree, he said. Graves, now an advocate and founder of the organization Americans for Safe Aerospace, emphasized that these objects were at times strangely stationary but did not behave like tethered balloons. That was because, Graves said, these objects could also move at extremely high speeds. Eventually, we would see these objects proceeding about 0.6 to 0.8 Mach on average, which is about 250 to 350 knots at those altitudes. and they would be either in some type of holding pattern or seemingly just proceeding in a single direction. Graves said that there were two basic explanations for what these objects could be. It's either going to be some type of adversarial platform and it's a matter for national security, or we don't know what it is, he said, and it's a matter for scientific inquiry and curiosity. We've been stymied not have that scientific curiosity as of late, but that's the biggest thing that needs to change and is changing right now. It is a national security matter, Graves said. Then the course of action is clear. For our military and our national security, our ability to know what's over our heads is of critical importance. And if we don't know what it is, we need to be curious about it, because we may have national security issues fall out of that anomalous bucket, Graves said. Once we start looking a little bit more closely into our airspace, some things are going to pop out that we weren't expecting to see. Graves said that the media coverage of UAP and UFO incidents, the existence of which Senator Marco Rubio and other members of the government have acknowledged, still leaves a lot to be desired. Rubio has said that UAPs are a risk to the national security. Advanced objects demonstrating advanced technology are routinely flying over restricted or sensitive airspace, posing a risk to both flight safety and national security, he tweeted in February. This goes on a little further. I'm going to stop it right there, but saying that we need to look into these fucking things a little more. I agree. Yeah, Katie.
I agree, but I also wonder what his rank is, and maybe somebody else knows and he doesn't.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Maybe somebody else does know what he saw and he's just not allowed to know what it was.
I gotcha.
But I will admit his description of what he saw was intriguingly unique.
Yeah.
The whole sphere in a cube thing, or cube in a sphere.
I think I've heard of that before, though. I think I've heard that one.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But that is unique.
It's very rare if you have heard of something similar. Like, it's still not your typical sighting. And of course, coming from a pilot, to me, that does automatically lend at least a little bit of credibility.
A smidge.
It matters, you know.
A smidge.
It's a worthy note.
Yeah, I don't know. I see them as people too.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, yes, I guess there's a little more credibility there, but they're still human beings. They could still lie.
Yes. Well, and I also, knowing what I know about how the government handles security clearances, and people get certain ratings for their government security clearance, whether you're a civilian or a government employee. That's why I kind of like, well, how far up the chain is he? You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, what, and that is a good question. Like, does somebody else know what it was and he just wasn't allowed to know?
Right. Especially because everything he said about how important this is absolutely correct. Like, he's spot on. It's very important. And I'm sure he's not the only one that thinks that. But that's also me living in my little bubble that thinks there's, you know, good things happening.
There's still good things in the world.
Yeah. So I may sound naive, sure.
Well, I think to some degree we all want to be naive.
Yeah.
Like, we all want to feel like there's good things and there's good things coming. No one wants to think that there's fucking bad shit on the horizon. No. But when it comes to this stuff, it's just information, or like, is it real or is it true? You know, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to see it someday.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like that's the thing we always talk about. We want to believe. We'd love to have this shit be for real.
Right.
I'd love to find out, you know, hey, that's for real. Cool. Like, that would be awesome to find out. Like, knowing that that film that I saw when I was a kid, the Patterson-Gimlin footage, the first time I saw that it ran fucking chills up my fucking spine as a kid.
Yeah.
And if I were to find out that is in fact a real fucking piece of footage, that would be game changing.
Oh yeah.
But to this
for
day,
sure.
I still don't know. There's
Right.
still so much fucking speculation this way or that way. Is it this? Is it that? Could it have been this? Well,
It's also subjective still. There's no objectivity to hold on to, you know.
And I've heard great arguments on both sides.
Yeah.
Great arguments.
Yep.
So I can't just go, that's that proves it. Because it fucking doesn't. You know, if I'm being honest, the footage that I like better is the Freeman footage, but everybody thinks that's shit.
Right.
You know, or because of Freeman. You know, shit he was fucking found doing or whatever. But
right,
the footage itself has always seemed to be solid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I think it's a fucking, it's going to be an age-old question as far as like UFOs, Bigfoot, and I stick with those because a lot of the other cryptids are just, you start to get wacky.
Right.
I don't think they're going to find a fucking Mothman.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
I don't know. My local turtle cryptid has a chance, Chris.
That's different. That's different. A big turtle I could buy.
That's true.
You know, that'd be like, you know, if somebody said they're going to find the Tasmanian tiger. All right, maybe.
Right.
Buy that.
It's much more feasible.
Yeah, but some of this other shit, like the fucking lizard man and shit, I don't know. Although there's some lizard man stories that are pretty fucking convincing. I will say. There's some pretty good convincing lizard man stories out there.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. I want to believe, Katie. I want to believe. Frogman.
Fuck Frogman.
Fucking Frogman. From coast to coast am.com. Watch 2 Loch Ness monsters spotted on webcam. Damn it. I had a tickle in my throat there. A pair of peculiar anomalies spotted on a Loch Ness webcam has left many wondering if the iconic site may have 2 monsters. The curious disturbances seen above were reportedly noticed by seasoned live stream viewer Eowyn. I am not even going to fucking try to pronounce that fucking Scottish bastard's name. It's not happening. This guy, earlier this month, after initially observing an odd wake in the water, which he believes was the famed creature, the webcam watcher was surprised to see 2 Nessie-like humps emerge from Loch Ness shortly thereafter. Noting that there appears to be no disturbance of water visible between objects, he argued that this is an indication that they are 2 separate moving creatures. While Loch Ness having 2 monsters may sound like a fantastic idea dreamed up by a marketing guru, the guy posits that such a scenario would actually explain the abundance of different descriptions put forward by people claiming to have seen the cryptid. Eyewitnesses could be viewing 2 different creatures coexisting in one lake, he mused, suggesting that one of the animals might be a giant eel, with the other being completely unknown. Blah, blah, blah. I can show you the video, Katie. I can fucking show you the video.
I'm confused by the angle they took on that.
What do you mean? See this okay?
Yeah.
You see the humps in the water?
Not yet. I'm looking.
I saw some humps in the water. I think they're back. So I'm going to put my cursor where they are. So they're right here.
Oh my gosh. And we're just deciding that's Nessie based on that?
That's Nessie, I guess.
No. That could have been anything.
That's Nessie.
They got big ass fish and all sorts of stuff in that loch.
But it's Nessie.
No, well, and I'm sorry, I'm confused why they think it's so special. There's two of them. If there's a Loch Ness monster, then it's a real animal, and if it's a real animal, then there has to be more than one of them for there to be a breeding population. So why is
Right.
it so strange that we might see two of them? That whole article, I'm sorry. Coast to Coast AM, I'm disappointed in you.
Katie's disappointed in George Norrie.
I didn't even know they were still pumping out content, to be honest.
We're never gonna make it mainstream because Katie's bashing on George Norrie.
I know. No, I like George Norrie, okay? But that was a shit article.
No, it was. I don't think that was the Loch Ness fucking monster by any stretch.
No.
But
Shame.
hey, I mean, I guess it could be. But I don't think so.
There's no evidence for it being anything.
All right, our next story of the evening from thesun.com. On the prowl. Warning, Bigfoot-like creatures on the move across the U.S. after hundreds of people left terrified by sightings. An author has warned that a Bigfoot-like creature that tormented his family for decades is allegedly on the move. According to Bruce Hollenbeck, the legendary Kinderhook creature terrifies upstate New York residents with its ear-curdling screams and intrusive hunting patterns. The cryptid has been described as a massive bipedal humanoid creature covered in reddish-brown fur, according to Hallenbeck's family. Hallenbeck claims that his cousins and grandmother have had terrifying experiences with the legend that has allegedly dug through their trash, left dead coyotes hanging in trees, and tormented the community of Kinderhook with wretched screeches. While the author spoke freely about apparent sightings of fairies, leprechauns, and UFOs.
They had to put that in there, didn't they?
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Takes us on a turn.
Oh, kind of explains everything. Let me start that sentence over. While the author spoke freely about apparent sightings of fairies, leprechauns, and UFOs, he admitted that he has never laid eyes on the Bigfoot-like creature. Could be a leprechaun.
I was to say, I'm surprised. I feel like you got better chance of seeing a Bigfoot than you do a leprechaun.
Could be a crackhead.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. In fact, he claimed the Kinderhook creature could be on the move, as reports in his small neck of the woods have decreased. I think it may have. I'm gonna say it. That's supposed to be. I think it may have moved south because there are more reports in Dutchess County. He exclusively told the U.S. Sun. Dutchess County is an area in New York just south of Kinderhook. I don't think it's dangerous in any way, Hallenbeck said. I think it's scary because it makes a horrible sound, and I think it's scary only in the sense that it's unknown. This goes on and on and on and on and on and on, but after I read about the fairies,
Did they note whether he was a fiction writer
and leprechauns, I don't care.
Fair.
I really,
fair.
I just don't give a fuck. Fairies and fucking leprechauns.
Right.
Like, I draw the line.
I
Draw
agree.
the line. I mean, I can't. Okay, Bigfoot, a bipedal ape that could be living in the wild. I can buy that. Okay, it's possible. UFOs, things coming here from motherfucking. I can buy that. I can buy it. Fairies and leprechauns.
I stand on that side of the line with you, Chris.
I mean, I guess we could go with tiny people. There's supposedly hobbit people. maybe people got smaller. I don't
Sure.
know. But
I've seen small people.
But I'm gonna go on the record and say I doubt it. I doubt it. Farmer Fred Smith in the house. He believes. Farmer Fred Smith. I'm still waiting. I can't remember. What were we having him cook?
Oh, shit.
I can't fucking remember.
Oh,
but Farmer Fred, listen. You catch a fucking fairy and or a leprechaun. Fry that bitch up. I'm talking fucking deep fry that little bitch. Because I can't imagine there's much meat on there. So you want to savor every little morsel. So you deep fry that, soak that bitch in some batter and cook it alive. Don't even let that son of a bitch die. Just dip it in the batter. I bet you it tastes better that way. But
oh yeah,
catch me
crispier.
A fucking leprechaun and or a fucking fairy. You can keep the pot of gold. It's all yours. I guess that's the way it works anyway. So
he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
Bitch. But I think this should be your new goal, Farmer Fred Smith. Farmer Fred Smith, Monster Hunter. And chef. Backyard barbecue, Monster Hunter chef. I think this could work as a TV show.
I think it was the nematode thing he was supposed to hunt for us last time.
The nematode?
It wasn't a nematode, but it reminded me of the nematodes. It was that sad blob monster that cried because it was so ugly.
No, it wasn't that one. Wasn't that one?
No,
it was before that. It was before that. Farmer Fred Smith isn't giving us any output on this, or any input rather on the on what it was. He doesn't remember. He's probably smoking too much fucking reefer, so he doesn't remember. I know I was, so that's probably my fucking excuse.
I legitimately have the memory of a potato, so I'm no help.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Giant frogs and pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. Fuck yeah. And you still haven't presented me with any pterodactyl, so but now we have leprechauns and fairies on the fucking table.
Yes.
Make it happen. Let's go. Pot of gold yours, but that is like that's the way that works. I guess that's in the fucking contract. I don't know. I guess if you catch the fucking leprechaun, you get the pot of gold. He tells you where I don't know. That's yours.
Yeah.
I want that sweet leprechaun meat. Not his dick. I want the succulent fucking leprechaun cooked.
Rump roast.
Yes. Yes, Katie. Yeah.
We sound like cannibals.
I sound like Army Hammer. That fucking crazy bastard. Fucking wanting to eat people. I guess that's what happens when you have that much money.
Some weird people out there with too much money, that's for sure.
I guess that's what happens, though, that you just... What else do you do to get off? You just decide to start having cannibal fantasies. I guess. I don't know. Our next story of the evening, Katie, comes from Newsweek.com. UFOs identified after video viewed nearly 500,000 times. A video of two bizarre sets of lights spotted floating through the sky above Montreal has gone viral, racking up 434,000 views on Twitter. The video posted by the account at Latest UFOs shows two sets of four lights flying in a triangle formation above the Canadian city, 12 minutes apart. What the F? That is not a goddamn airplane. Why the F is it so effing close? I'm going to go with fucking on those. What the actual fuck is that? What the fuck? The person behind the camera can be heard saying as they watch the first set of lights. Who was in this video? Me? I'm shaking right now. I'm not even going to lie. I'm fucking shaking. That shit did not look like a fucking airplane. but that was really fucking close to the ground, and I am not near an airport. That might have been me. 12 minutes later, as the second set flies by, the person said, that one sounded more like multiple planes, but the other one had a very deep humming, and there's no base nearby. I don't know what's going on. UFOs, also known as UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena, are aerial objects that cannot be immediately explained. These strange phenomena have captured the imaginations of people around the world for hundreds of years and are often associated with visiting alien species or government subterfuge. Subterfuge. I like that word, subterfuge. The majority of UAPs can be accounted for as balloons, drones, or drifting aerial junk. In some cases, the visual impression is impacted by perspective bias, where a slow nearby object looks like a large, rapid, distant object. Joshua Semeter, a professor of electrical and computer engineering and director of the Center for Space Physics at Boston University, previously told Newsweek. That said, there is a small percentage of observations that remain unexplained. These cases generally involve an object that exhibits unusual flight characteristics. For instance, rapid acceleration, rapid velocity, or extreme maneuverability, characteristics that cannot readily be accounted for through known technologies, said Semeter, who is also a member of NASA's independent panel to study UAPs. On Tuesday, the lights were identified by a UFO fact-check account named UFO of Interest as Canadian military helicopters flying in formation. Those are military exercise by Royal Canadian Air Force with 4 Bell CH-146 Griffin, tweeted UFO of Interest in response to the viral video. I think there's a video here we can watch. We can watch a video, Katie.
Let's see.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
What the fuck? That is not a goddamn airplane. Why the fuck is it so fucking close?
What the fuck?
What the actual fuck is that? What the fuck? God fucking damn it. I'm shaking right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm fucking shaking.
Can you hear that?
Not like a fucking airplane. Yeah. But that was really fucking close to the ground, and I'm not near an airport. Alright, the lights is off. I don't know what the fuck this is. What the hell's going on?
It's the end of the world!
What the fuck is going on right now?
She can't be the only one that saw that.
Right.
It is. That one sounded more like multiple planes, but the other one had a very deep humming. And there's no base nearby.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow.
That's funny. Yeah, helicopters. Farmer Fred Smith, we got tree octopus here. Tree octopus?
I would like to admit that when I saw that comment, I picked up my phone and Googled it because I've never heard of such a thing. And fuck you, Fred Smith. It's an internet hoax. That's been around for a really long time, and people actually get fooled by it, and they think it's a real thing. And there's plenty of links
that I
found
that
made
think
it seem
that there is a real thing called a tree octopus.
Well, apparently there's decades worth of people who have.
People are dumb.
Yeah.
I just want to say for the record, people are fucking dumb. I don't understand people. I don't get them. I'd like to understand the human race. If there's someone out there who can explain this to me. And by the way, I prefer that you not be of the human race. And have quite a bit of background on said human race. So if there's any alien human historians out there who would like to come forward and give me a clue, be great.
Well, apparently they've been probing us for a long time, so they should.
I know they've been coming here fucking forever.
Yeah,
coming here forever, I guess. Checking us out. They're in cahoots with the government. Some people say. I don't fucking know anymore.
They should have this figured out by now.
I don't understand it, Katie. I'm just a simple guy with a simple podcast. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's Bigfoot. It's UFOs. It's whatever it is. It's the Loch Ness Monster. It was the Loch Ness Monster, Katie. That's
No,
what
it
it was.
wasn't.
It was the Loch Ness Monster. Couldn't have possibly been just two things in the water.
No.
It's the Loch Ness Monster. It's true, though. It's fucking true. If you're looking for Bigfoot, you're going to find Bigfoot. If you're looking for fucking UFOs, you're going to find UFOs. If you're looking for fucking ghosts, you're going to find ghosts. Looking for the Loch Ness Monster, you're going to find the Loch Ness Monster. It's fucking so true.
It's the way our brains work.
So true. Our last story of the evening, kind of our title story, I guess you could say. MSN from MSN.com. Campers in northwestern Florida terrorized by strange creature. Florida Bigfoot, y'all, says the woman in the latest viral Bigfoot video. She's probably referring to the skunk ape, a legendary Florida cryptid described as a large bipedal ape-like creature with a horrible stench. Many sightings have been reported in Florida and neighboring states over the years. This video purports to be from campers in Torreya State Park, a wilderness area in the Florida Panhandle west of Tallahassee. According to the caption, it was taken by campers after they were terrified by unearthly shrieks in the night and having rocks and other objects thrown into their campsite. The park is a popular spot for skunk ape sightings. Unfortunately, there's not much to the video. Supposedly, the campers captured footage of the creature through a night vision camera, but the clips shown could be just about anything. There is also separate footage supposedly taken on the same camping trip that displays a large footprint in the mud. The woman who posted the video claims the video was analyzed by unnamed sources who verified it was not CGI. We didn't even know that was a job you could have. I wonder who analyzed it. Every time I watch one of these, a few more of my brain cells dies, one viewer scoffs. Me too. Me too. And we're in agreement. There's so little context here that it's impossible to tell what we're looking at. Perhaps it's not, as the mysterious analyzers claimed, CGI, but that doesn't mean it's not a dude in a monkey suit. What do you think? I'm not going to click on the video because you have to click on the link to go to the fucking video, and I'm just not going to do it.
I'm sure it's not worth watching anyway.
Yeah, if it's a thermal, if it's or night vision, well, if it was thermal and it was a dude in a suit, it wouldn't be picked up.
Right.
I know because we tried that. We tried that one time when I was out in Washington. It just doesn't pick up. We used Doug Hudson's Bigfoot suit. The only thing it picks up is the fucking eyes, the mouth, and where the skin shows.
Right, where the heat's getting out.
That's it. Everything else is dark.
I just don't understand why people bother putting out videos that prove nothing. Like, if you have a real experience, like, okay, cool. But if you really don't have anything worth putting out, I don't know. I wouldn't put something like that out. If I would, like, maybe say to people I know that I had an experience, but I'm not going to go, oh my God, look at this Bigfoot I saw.
I don't get any of it. Like anymore. It doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem to have, and nothing has any credibility.
Yeah, it's all been crap for a real long time.
Yeah, and anybody who puts out a quote unquote Bigfoot video, I just see them as going, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about like trying to find something. It's about getting notoriety.
Yeah, your viral video.
Yeah. It just I don't get any of it anymore. I don't understand it. I wish I could. I'm harking back to that video. Do you remember the video where it was obviously a fucking fake video, dude in a fucking Bigfoot costume, and I can't remember how it went, but they only released a short piece of the video, and then afterwards the Bigfoot holds up a sign.
Yeah, wasn't it like a ghillie suit or something?
It was something stupid, but anyway,
Yeah.
I remember I think it was Kelly Shaw that went out to investigate it, and there was this fucking it was
Yes, I think it was a dude in a ghillie suit.
It was just such horse shit. Such horse shit. And they'll treat anything like it's the holy grail. The next thing that is going to prove that Bigfoot exists.
Yep.
And like we're saying, it's the same thing with everything else. It's not just Bigfoot, UFOs, or fucking insert fucking strange shit here. And you can get the same thing. Same fucking thing. I don't understand it anymore. I wish I could. I wish I could understand why, when there's so much skepticism out there, you people will fucking shoot yourselves in the foot. Time after time after time after time. And you'll let these fucking idiots perpetuate nonsense and say that it's for the good of the community. Fuck off.
Right.
It's not. You're doing everyone a disservice by allowing these fucking cunt heads to keep fucking spewing their bullshit. So, good on you. Good job. I'm glad we could keep everybody around and not step on anybody's toes.
Well, and that's a sad thing, is there's really hardly much of a community anymore. It's not really
No, you know why? Because they're all a bunch of fucking idiot cunt heads.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's why. That's why.
For sure.
I mean, when the person who runs the Olympic project, Derek Randalls, tells me that Bigfoot is just a hobby, I was like, oh, all right. Gotcha. Yep. I got you, Bob. Reading you loud and clear. Loud and fucking clear.
Yeah, that sends quite the message.
And that is an actual message that I got from that gentleman, who also told me that, I didn't understand that, the evidence is coming. Evidence is coming. This was fucking years ago, by the way. Where's the evidence?
You must have missed it.
Where is the evidence from the Olympic project? I wonder how that fucking guy, I can't remember his name now, that fucking foots the bill for all of that. He likes how his money's being spent. I wonder if he likes that shit. I wonder if he's still fucking just shelling out money.
Surely not.
Wish I could have gotten some of that. I'd like to do some Maine Bigfoot research.
Hell yeah.
I'd like it to be a hobby.
A lucrative one.
Yeah. One where I'm paid shit tons of money and it's just a hobby. Oh, fucking hell. And let me see. What do I got here, Katie? You sent me something else. What do I got? Oh, yeah. And from usatoday.com, mother raises $41K to exhume autopsy remains of son found dead near Murdaugh estate in 2015. Oh, more Murdaugh bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
In the wake of the double murder conviction of Richard Alex Murdaugh, the family of a South Carolina teen found dead in 2015 is making a renewed drive to find the truth in the years-old cold case. Funds have now been raised for an exhumation and independent autopsy, the teen's mother said. As Murdaugh's trial consumed the world's media and the public's attention from January 23rd until its March 2nd conclusion, when Murdaugh was found guilty of killing his wife and son, Sandy Smith has impatiently waited for a conclusion of her own, but she has been waiting for 8 years. The body of her son, Stephen Smith, a 19-year-old nursing student, was found lying in the middle of a rural road in Hampton County, not far from the Murdaugh property in Colleton County, on July 8th, 2015. He died from blunt force trauma to the head, but there was controversy surrounding the case from the start. At first, officials ruled the death a hit and run, but investigators later considered it a homicide based on evidence at the scene. For years, rumors circulated around the county that the case was connected to the Murdaugh family. That name appeared dozens of times in witness statements to the police, yet the case grew cold, and to this day there have been no arrests or even official confirmation that the case is in fact Murdaugh-related or not. The unsolved murder mystery received new life in July 2021 when the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division opened a new investigation into Smith's homicide, based upon information gathered during the course of the double murder investigation of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh. With the spotlight dimming on Alex Murdaugh, the Smith family feels it's time to shine some new light on their murder case. A GoFundMe drive has been started to raise money for an exhumation and independent autopsy of Stephen Smith's remains. On March 10th, Sandy Smith organized a GoFundMe page to raise funds for the exhumation and independent autopsy. The fundraising goal was $15,000, but in only a week, that page states it has raised $41,034. According to the GoFundMe page, if Smith's body is exhumed, the Smith family doesn't want the state to conduct an autopsy at the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston, where such studies are normally held in the region. We feel it's critical to seek a new goal, an independent exhumation and autopsy, states the page. While the state can elect and fund an exhumation and new autopsy, it is our understanding that it would be carried out at MUSC, where his death was initially classified as hit and run, despite no evidence to support it. We need a new unbiased look at his body and an accurate determination of his cause of death based on facts. There was no debris in the road, and his injuries were not consistent with a hit and run. The site also states that the autopsy alone is expected to cost $7,000. In addition, a private medical examiner must be present from the start of the exhumation through the examination period at a cost of approximately $750 per hour. Thanks to recent generous donors, this now appears possible. The family of Stephen N. Smith is incredibly grateful for the outpouring of love and support we have received from Standing for Stephen and the community as a whole. You have been monumental in shining light on Stephen's story and the lack of justice, states Smith's page. And that goes on for a little bit more, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to say I heard about this case.
Yeah, it was in that documentary if you watched it.
The one on Netflix?
Yeah.
I haven't watched the one on Netflix yet.
It was probably on another one too.
I watched the one on HBO. That one I did watch, but I did not watch the one on Netflix.
Well, if it sounds familiar, it's probably from that. It's mentioned in most things, but it's not like a huge bullet point, but it is a big part of the story. And it's crazy to think that literally, depending on how this goes, that whole entire family could be theoretically wiped out.
Yeah. So
sad.
Yeah. All right, and I grabbed this. Yeah, whatever. From CosmosMagazine.com. Animal sacrifice and cult activity in Arabia revealed in 7,000-year-old stone monument. 7 millennia ago, humans living in ancient Arabia built massive stone monuments where they sacrificed wild and domesticated animals as part of complex religious practices. Those are the conclusions of researchers from the University of Western Australia digging into the Alula region of Saudi Arabia as part of a 5-year archaeological study funded by the regional government. They excavated a massive stone stone mustatil, a kind of rectangular walled compound measuring 140 meters, within which were found 3 betyls or monument stones worshipped as houses of cultural gods. This is consistent with earlier research into pre-Islamic Arabian cultures described as betyl cults, which transported idols and worshipped at upright stones and natural rock formations said to be mediators between humankind and the divine. At the foot of these betyls, or beetles, I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that, were the remains of livestock and hunted animals. It looks like cattle, goats, and gazelles were brought to the site, potentially slaughtered there, and then presented to what is probably a stone representation of an unknown deity, says Dr. Melissa Kennedy, an archaeologist at UWA. This is not the only mustatil identified in the region. 1,600 have been found across northern Arabia through a combination of remote sensing, aerial, and ground observations. This, the researchers suggest, indicates the practices of these Neolithic cults were widespread, which alters previously understood timelines for these cultures. The documentation of 1,600 mustatil is quite extraordinary, says Kennedy. It suggests that northern Arabia was characterized by similar religious beliefs, or that people who had this belief roamed over a vast area. This is pretty much unparalleled in the Neolithic anywhere in the world. Also, the identification of betyl suggests that this tradition was present in Arabia much earlier than we initially thought. The study site contained predominantly cattle remains, around a third of which were identified as domestic animals. Other remnants include those of domestic goats and sheep, gazelles, and coprolites, fossilized fecal matter attributed to hyenas.
What?
Yeah, and they have a there's a little bit more to this, but there's a kind of a cool overhead of the area that they excavated right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I wasn't expecting hyenas in there. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but
yeah, I mean, it does make sense. It's some interesting shit.
yeah.
I was like hearing about old fucking cults and weird shit like that. I figured I'd throw that in for our cult shit for this week.
That stuff's cool. I like archaeology.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that Graham Hancock fucking show that was on Netflix. That was the shit.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think I want to read Fingerprints of the Gods. I have that one, and I have the one that comes after it. I'm in the middle of Dan Simmons' book right now, and I just read American Psycho, which was pretty weird.
I bet.
Pretty weird. The movie is... I like the movie. The movie's good. Have you ever seen American Psycho?
That's one I don't think I have. No.
With Christian Bale.
No.
It's a good flick. It's... I don't know. It's a strange movie, but
I don't like Christian Bale.
The book is not... It's not really all that far from the book. There's like a lot of scenes that are misplaced from the book to the movie. Like they're out of sequence. Like they took stuff from other parts of the book and put them in other parts of the movie.
Mixed it up.
But overall, like the overall story seems like it's the same. It's very similar. And I enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoyed reading it, but it was fucking so odd to try and read something that at times is so erotic and in the next sentence is so fucking brutal.
Right.
Like there is a scene where he's fucking these two girls. One of them is straddling the other girl's mouth. He's down on the woman that's getting straddled, and then he starts eating her pussy. Like literally. Like chewing the fucking flesh off of her.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like so it like left turn, Clyde, like your fucking brain can't handle it. and I had such a hard time reading the book simply because of that. Like, it goes from these insanely descriptive, like penthouse forum style shit to he's brutally fucking murdering a woman.
That's some dark stuff.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
it's so hard for you for your brain to wrap around it while you're reading it. Well, for me anyway, it was.
I think for most people that would be
Well, for most people, but not for like some crazy ass fucking people, I guess.
Yeah.
It was so hard in parts to read, just because of that.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, ugh.
It's understandable.
So, but I keep eyeballing Graham Hancock's books because I have the two of them. Fingerprints of the Gods, and I can't remember what the next one is. But I've been every time I go through when I need to pick out a new book, I'm like, ooh, could do that.
I know.
And
I'm tempted to, honestly.
I almost picked up and started reading that book that I showed you that I just bought, that I got on sale, the BTK one.
Yeah. That looks good.
BTK is one of the ones that fascinates the shit out of me. Like, dude, you had a daughter and you did that to fucking people's daughters.
I know. It's so that is a weird one.
Fucking yeah, that one's hard. That one's hard to when I went back and like actually watched stuff about him, like in-depth documentaries, and found out what the fuck that the dude really did. I was horrified. Just horrified.
Yeah.
It's so brutal.
There's a lot of dark ones like that.
Yeah. There's some sick ass fucking people out there. Some real sick ass fucking people.
There's only a few cases that really actually stick out in my mind, brutality wise, because I'm admittedly grossly desensitized to a lot of that stuff because of how much I've consumed it. And actually the ones that stand out to me are one-off ones that most people haven't heard of.
See, somebody asked me just recently who my favorite serial killer was.
It's such a common question, but it's such a weird question.
That's not, like, I wouldn't consider them my favorite.
Right.
But like,
I'm not ranking them in my spare time,
like,
but
if I'm gonna say like the most interesting dude that I think I've come across, that for me, it's Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
Ed Kemper was fucked up.
Oh God, I don't know. There's so many of them.
Yeah, but he's one that really gets me because he hung out with cops. They liked him. He wound up turning himself into the cops.
Right.
Like, fucking killed all those women, kills his mother, decapitates her, and then fucks her head.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty dark.
I don't understand it. Like, and anybody that, had talked to him or knew him was like, he's just a pretty chill, cool guy.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? That though has been going on forever. Like, there's that old story of, I think his name was Albert Fish, and he used to put needles in his scrotum and shit. Everybody thought that he was the sweetest old man in the neighborhood, just the nicest guy. Yeah.
He ate children.
And he put needles in his scrotum.
Yeah.
And that was like in the 1800s. So
more horrifying though, Katie, was that he ate children.
I don't know why I'm stuck on
Katie's like, but he put fucking needles in his scrotum, Chris. No, Katie, he ate children.
I know, but isn't that sad that that's a detail that stands out for me in that story? It's not the cannibalization of children.
It is a detail though. I mean, it's a fucking hell of a detail.
It's just one that's you don't hear that too often.
No, you do not.
No.
Anywho,
On that
wrap
note.
this. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this shit up this week. Katie and I have definitely talked about it. We're probably gonna extend the show a little bit to do a little more on the true crime side and I don't know, cult corner. I don't know what the fuck we'll call that bullshit. But to wrap up the show, we might do some type of an interlude break in between where the show will still be live. We'll go to like a blank, not a blank screen, but a screen that says we'll be back. Mostly so that Katie and I can go piss.
Yes, it's important.
Both have fucking tiny ass bird bladders. But that's basically what we're looking at right now. We're still hammering all that out. Katie's trying to get her green screen figured out. She thought she had it figured out for this week, but unfortunately, her little rinky dink thing she bought didn't work. We're working on hammering those things out, getting things fleshed out here. So it is a work in progress. For those of you who are sticking with us, thank you. If you're watching us on YouTube and you aren't following the podcast or subscribe to the podcast, please do over on Spotify. The podcast is not available on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever the fuck that's called now. There's an issue there. See previous podcast episode if you have any questions about that. But it is out there. It's on Stitcher. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon Music. It's everywhere except for Apple. So subscribe to the podcast, download the podcast. The show is over on Rumble. I'm still working on getting it live over on Rumble. As soon as I can, I will. And we will go from there. I think that's everything. Oh yeah. If you want to keep up on the show, everything is over at the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/the Fortean. Excuse me, the Fortean Slip. That's facebook.com/TheForteanSlip. And yeah, have a good week, everybody. And we'll try to bring you a show next Monday with me in recovery from surgery. So
yes.
Enjoy that shit. I will not be all drugged up. I can assure you of that. But I will be here and probably in a little bit of pain. Maybe not. Maybe I'll be like, hey, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
So let's look on the bright side. Always look on the bright side of life.
I'm an optimistic gal, Chris, so.
Anywho, until next week, be good to one another out there, everybody. It's a fucking dark world. Lift somebody up. Say something nice to somebody tomorrow, today, right now. Until then, see ya.